Okay, so once you've taken your measurement, you're going to use the USB cable supplied by Svantek, connect it in USB-C and then USB into your computer. It's going to start to switch on using the power from the laptop. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Supervisor, which as mentioned is the report generating for occupational noise and vibration measurements. We have PC++ where you can do further analysis in time history and really get to the nitty-gritty of things. But for today's example, I want to show you Supervisor. So what we're going to do, this is where we did our setup files, but what we're concerned about right now is the downloading. So if we see that our instrument's connected once again, we're going to go into download folder. And this is where we can see all of the data that's inside the instrument. So for example, we renamed the different file names and we have the time and the date. So what I can do here, we can enter straight off the bat the location of the instrument or wherever the job was, and also the user and maybe the task. So we can do that here, and I'll show you in a second how that looks later. For example, I'm just concerned about log 6, which is the test file we just did. So once it's there, I'm going to hit download, and you can see that it goes through its own internal downloading. Now, Supervisor will download all of the files into this catalog here as a recent downloaded. We can move this, so we can chuck it into Julian driving, for example. So now I know it's in an assigned folder. This is just directory stuff that you guys can do. Now, by default, we have some overviews here. We have a unit type, serial number, unit measurement time, the duration of the measurement, 1 minute, profiles, and you have some overall levels. So already you can see the LEQ of the measurement, that sort of stuff. So say if you have 10 files here, you can already see straight off the bat what the LEQ was for that file. If you need to find out what needs to be looked into first, that sort of thing. This is all interchangeable. Right click on it. You can see all of these options here. You know, there's everything you can imagine in regards to noise dosimetry and occupational measurements. I'm going to leave it all off for now. Play around with it yourselves. That's up to you. Once I have a file here, I'm going to double click it. So straight away, this opens up a session header at the top here. And this is our session, what we're going to see in the report at the end. So on the left here, we have panels we can add, and we have panels that are already in the measurement. So if we go to the top and we go to session header, we can expand this by hovering over there. And you can see that just before I said location, user, and task, they're already entered in. So you can chuck something in here, comments, driving for 1 minute, and we can make the project name car drive, and we can make the author's name Julian, for example. Now we also have a configurator. All of my tasks are listed here, so let's squish that one. Next main parameters that we want to see is the instrument configuration. So by default, we have a few options here. So basically this is how it's going to be. The measurement start time, measurement stop, unit type, serial number, software version or firmware, integration period, and logger step. Now this is configurable once again. So this is we're going to see in the report at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pre-calibration time and date. I'm going to add the pre-calibration factor because that's a crucial thing. Add the post-calibration time and date and the post-calibration factor. So as you can see, they're both within the tolerance, so the readings are fine. Now there's a number of different aspects we can add here. I'm going to leave them off. So if we squish that back down, another panel that comes as default is the logger results. So typically logger results is like the time history of the measurement, which is crucial information here. I'm going to leave, you know, we can do frequency analysis. Let's just add a few things on. Like in previous videos, this is all interchangeable based on what we've already set. Let's do an L90, an L10, an LEQ on summary results. So now we've got a few profiles there, and I'm going to squish it again. So we have a few more tabs we can play with. I am going to add another good one is total results. So once we get total results, let's open it up. And basically these are the total results of the measurement itself. So we have LEQ, peaks, dose, 8-hour dose, projected dose. Once again, you can configure all of this yourself. Add in whatever you need. I'm going to leave it as this for now because I'm not too concerned about other measurements. And we have a few more options here. We have logger results in 1/3 octave. We can add that. Let's leave that on for our measurement because I would like some 1/3 octave data. We can go to noise dose. So let's open up that one. Now this is a calculator, so you guys can play around with this. I only did a 1 minute measurement. It's going to project different hours. So say if I type in 8 hours here, it's going to project what these levels would be over the whole day. So obviously I'm working on the one tool or driving the one car for 1 minute. Let's see if I was exposed to that for how many hours. We can calculate it here. Fantastic. Let's go noise exposure ISO 912. Once again, task-based measurements, job-based measurements, full day measurements. You can break up what workers are doing. You can tell them to move on to different jobs based in this software. I do have at this moment about 6 different panels in my report, all configurable. What we can do is there's a word icon here and we can go generate report. So kindly Supervisor is going to use those panels that we've already chosen, the different logging options and the configurator that we've chosen, and it's going to make us a template report. So straight away, this is exported into Word. You can change the Svantek logo, put your company details on there, that's fine. So as you can see, project name, author, location, this is already added to the report. Now the instrument configuration for noise, this is probably pretty crucial stuff for you. Post-calibration factor, pre-calibration factor, the time and date that it was done. Now, as I said, we added some results down the end. So we've got logger results in there as well. We have the total results of the measurement. We've got some third octave data for us as well. And then we've got this noise dose data and also our hearing protect panel. So already you can see that you've generated a report, you've set up the instrument, you've taken the measurement, you've used your phone, you've done a post-calibration, and now you've downloaded and made a report. So save that in the same directory as where all your other data is, and then that'll be it.